Play the recordings in this album and study the calls and commands.
Sometimes a people must defend themselves. Sometimes the citizens of a republic, the workers of a state, the parents responsible for children and elderly, the agencies charged with just enforcement of laws and protection of a nation, and the men and women who are called to the front ranks of conflicts. The very armed forces of a state must see that their government no longer represents their interests. Such a time is now.
We find that the one crying need of our people, the redistribution of wealth, so that none would be too poor and none would be too rich, is always neglected by the party that is in power.
Sometimes a people must take control of their futures and create their own destinies. Sometimes a people must create their own means of exchange, their own lines of sustenance, and their own remedies and innovations. Sometimes a people must declare themselves more vital and important than corporations. Such a time is now.
The hottest places in hell are reserved for those who, in a period of moral crisis, maintain their neutrality. There comes a time when silence is betrayal.
Sometimes a people must take charge of their money supply and their food supply. Sometimes a people must turn from unresponsive representation and unfair taxation. Sometimes a people must act to protect themselves from gross theft, unconstitutional, and otherwise illegal repression and threats to their livelihoods. Such a time is now. Over the past 5 years and more, the federal government of the United States has shown itself to be less concerned with its people's health and democratic wishes than with the preservation of corporations and institutions that are robbing the people of this nation of both our present and our future.
This is an impressive crowd, the haves and the have-mores. Some people call you the elite. I call you my base.
Despite strong majorities that oppose these courses of the United States federal government, violations of the people's democratic will continue.
We have seen no bill. We are here debating talking points on perhaps what is the largest fundamental change in our nation's financial system in its history.
A spokesman for J.P. Morgan Chase, which got $25 billion, responded with this: "We've lent some of it. We've not lent some of it. We have not disclosed that to the public. We're declining to."
Government's willing to bail out corporations, but they're not willing to bail out people.
And nothing in the incoming administration, headed by Barack Obama, but filled with cabinet secretaries and other executives from the Clinton, Reagan, and 2 Bush administrations, points to anything changing for the better in the broad strokes that will be delivered by the federal government.
Given all that's happened these past few weeks on Wall Street, it feels like an odd time to be dressed up in white tie, but I must say I got a great deal. Rented the whole outfit from the Treasury Department at a very good price. Looking around tonight at all the gourmet food and champagne, it's clear that no expenses were spared. It's like an executive sale meeting at AIG.
This parasite of our life and wealth has 2 heads and bodies. Corporations through government feast on the United States and all the Western world. We've come to live to feed them.
We declare our rank on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people.
And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. My eyes have seen the glory of the Lord.
What we need in the United States is not division,
What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another, and a feeling of justice toward those who still suffer.
We can create our own means of non-exploitative exchange of money and goods. During the 1930s depression, more than 1,000 community currencies arose across the United States. Now, more than 1,900 such means of exchange serve around the world. We do not need commercial banks, such as comprise the Federal Reserve System. We need, rather, to eliminate such thieving middlemen from our economy. We need cooperative banks, owned by their depositors.
You're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here. Well, your money's in Joe's house, that's right next to yours, and in the Kennedy house, and Mrs. Maitland's house, and 100 others.
Let us put them to work in helping us to produce from the riches of our land. We have already tremendous resources. We have businesses and solutions that have thrived outside the coupled parasite of ruling for a few government corporations. We have the means, in short, to win. We can win freedom and prosperity for our futures. We have only to further nurture cooperative alternatives that are already thriving. Only connect, as E.M. Forster repeated in Howard's End, for our own well-being. It's all a matter of our own will and energy. If we believe in each other, if we love one another, at least to the level of respect, and if we act on such beliefs, we can change everything. America can yet be a dream fulfilled. America can yet be a realization of freedom and prosperity that extends throughout the Western Hemisphere. We together can make happen the real changes that are needed in 2009. Such a time for us is now.
Rainbows and find a perfect friend, say you're sorry. Make me dream at night, break my heart aside, don't you worry. Swept the sounds of love from the skies above, and I knew it. Swim the seas of blue just to drown in you, and I blew it.